This is not a job in which we are trying to, quote, win hearts and minds. Rather, this is an attempt to begin an engine of change, of movement around the world in which we are partnering with civil society, which we are extending our hand in partnership, and we are listening to what is happening at the grassroots and taking ideas from the grassroots and moving them up.
The speech in Cairo was one of, if not the most widely watched speech that the President has given, certainly internationally. And our goal in that speech was to articulate the comprehensive vision, an overarching vision that the President has for our relationship with Muslim communities and especially Muslim-majority countries around the world. We have a lot of issues that we're working on together. Some of those issues, neither you nor I would grade them as going as well as we would like. But there are other areas, health, cooperation, education, science, technology, innovation, entrepreneurship, economic development, the things that, whether it's a person in Detroit or a person in Beirut or a person in Ramallah, all care about. Fundamentally, that comes down to, will my child have a better life than me? Will the future look better than the past? Is there opportunity that I can seize that I have not seized? And the speech and our vision for this is to work on those challenging issues while we're pursuing this more comprehensive engagement.
The President of the United States and Secretary Clinton both made the point this week when they went to the Entrepreneurs Summit that the engagement we are going to have with the Muslim world and the Arab world is going to be one of partnership. It's going to be a whole change in attitude. And partnership is a very interesting concept. And I think it's particularly important because of this new group, an empowerment group that really helps understand the concept of partnership. And the notion of partnership was also reinforced when the President and Secretary Clinton announced the Partners for a New Beginning, coming out of President Obama's line in his great speech in Cairo. That Partners for a New Beginning is supposed to look for ways that we can forge partnerships with groups around the world, especially entrepreneurs and civil society. But the important thing, too, about partnerships, it means that you actually have to do something. It's nice having these conferences, it's nice having these talks, but we really have to apply this on the ground. And already, coming out of our U.S.-Palestinian partnership, that's now under the umbrella of this Partners for a New Beginning, we've tried to create things that I hope all of you will become a part of.
We also had with us Ambassador Shukri of the Egyptian ambassador to the United States, which was also extremely symbolic because the event, the initial summit, was announced in Cairo during Obama's visit. And so we wanted to also bring the Egyptian presence in the United States to welcome our guests, but also to make a statement on behalf of the Egyptian and Arab overall community towards the Obama administration's.
Were the speakers keynote speakers, or was it a panel discussion, a candid conversation?
It was actually neither. It was a very interesting setup. What we wanted to do was to create a program that flowed in a pretty fluid way, but also was able to tap into non-traditional diplomacy, and we wanted to highlight that. So what we did was we started with our major speakers, and we gave them 5 minutes, 5 to 10 minutes, and they had topic areas to talk about, mainly the international community's reaction, the Obama administration's initiatives, future visions of the Obama administration. And then we shifted to the second part of the program, which really tied into the summit, which was diplomacy through business and business through diplomacy. What does that look like? And we had with us Farouk Shami, who is a very successful entrepreneur of Palestinian descent, who literally has a rags to riches story. But he is a very integral part of the American community, and his products are, he's a founder of Farouk Systems, which produces the Chi hair straighteners and BioSilk products. And his story was extremely empowering in that it was a story of an immigrant who really found meaning in the American dream, but then is using that dream to also reinvest and re-engage. So he tapped on issues of corporate and social responsibility, but then also tapped on issues of really what being American is and his role. He did also run for office and governor of Texas, which really shows that this is an immigrant who came here, who has the rags to riches American dream story, who is also becoming a part of an influence maker in the United States.
Diplomacy through business is a win-win situation. It's a partnership that people want to reap the fruits of their hard work. And cooperation My commitment have always been environment, education, and ethics. I remember about 4 or 5 years ago, we did a conference at the Dead Sea in Jordan. We had 1,500 Americans go there at the hardest time. That was not far from 9/11. But we had 4,000 people, 2,500 Arabs, Muslims, and I want you to know, during the gala, when we finished, my question from the podium was asking Americans, how do you love, how do you like Arabs and Muslims? And they all say, we love Arabs, we love Muslims. Now let's ask the Muslim and the Arabs, what do you think of American? We love Americans, we love American. And that's what we are, okay? Last year, my convention was in Cancun. 5,000 people from 100 countries. And it was titled, Love and Peace. It was love and peace, and we featured Israelis and Palestinians on the same stage with Miss Israel and Miss Palestine hugging and loving each other, okay? So, I like to tell government people, if you cannot achieve peace, maybe we, the hairdresser, can do that. Let me add to this. As a hairdresser and as a Texan, I was inspired by our president, President Obama. And it came to my mind, now we have a black president. How about a brown governor for Texas? Okay? So, few months ago, I carried our theme to the political arena. Believe it or not, I ran for the governor of the great state of Texas, okay? Well, I did not win. But I came out second among 7 candidates, okay? Right? My dream and aspiration that we will be blessed during President Obama's term, that we will have love and peace, and we have our state, independent state of Palestine, and I would love to go there to create jobs so we can pay for education, for health care, for security.
I'm really happy to have this opportunity to address almost a year after the historic speech of President Obama, one of the very tangible results of that speech, which is the Entrepreneurial Summit. And of course, everyone who has been following can recognize the impact and the success of the summit in putting and implementing the President's vision of engagement with the Arab and Muslim world on the basis of mutual respect, cooperation, and a recognition of the values of diversity. And this has all been demonstrated through the summit. The engagement of the United States in terms of the economic development of the Muslim and Arab world is a very tangible way of presenting the ability of the United States to interact and to provide its assistance in terms of, particularly of the capacity building of individuals in the Arab and Muslim worlds. This conference has been attended by remarkable participants from all over the Muslim world. There was an excitement in terms of their participation. They have presented their experience and they embark on going back to their capitals, again being able to demonstrate that through this cooperative engagement of the United States, there is much potential and much advancement to alleviate poverty, to advance the economic needs of our parts of the world. Their achievements is a recognition of their personal qualities, but it is also their representative value. Egypt, having now returned to a market economy reliant in terms of the value of its entrepreneurs, of its business community, to forge ahead with our economic and development needs, recognizes the importance of the President's initiative